Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be heading down to see Steve at Old Iron Kustoms. I'm going to be taking him my 2003 YZ450 seat to see if he can make me a replica seat cover. Nobody's making a replica that I could find on the internet, so we'll be seeing how he can help me out there. But yeah, come along, and thanks for tuning in. Hey, we're back. We're with Steve here at Old Iron Kustoms. So I want to introduce you to Steve.
My name's Steve Ottens, owner of Old Iron Kustoms. We do hot rod, custom, original interiors, pretty much anything that has to do with classic cars. One of the ones we're working on here is this 36 Ford, kind of in a street rod style. So we'll be doing just a nice, clean, one color interior in it. Starting that here soon. Just finishing up some seats for a guy. They're going into a old C10 pickup truck. So
you kind of specialize in hot rods and customs, but you do other work. You're going to do my motorcycle seat cover.
That's right. Yeah, we do a little bit of seats, quads now and then. So all right, we got this seat that Rod brought to me. It's in good shape, but the color's really badly faded, so we're gonna make a new seat cover, and we're gonna start by pulling all the staples, the tedious job, and see how the rest looks. There we go. The seat foam's in nice shape. Looks great. So we don't have to do anything there. And this was not sewn together. This looks like it's like a heat sealed. So we're gonna have to cut this apart to get our patterns, and then we'll go from there. We're gonna cut along the seam here with the black and blue joined together, and that's how we're gonna get our pattern. All right. With most vinyls, it stretches one way, which is typically across the roll. You can see the stretch there. Up the roll, typically it doesn't. You can get some vinyl that'll stretch all four ways, but because the color we're going with, this was the closest color we could come with, and so we're going to go with it. So when I want to cut it so it goes lengthwise of the seat, the stretch is the same way, so when we go to pull it over, we have a little bit of give there to get away from any wrinkles that might occur. All right, we got the pattern laid down, a little bit of weight to hold it in place, and I'm going to trace the exact pattern. Then I'm going to add about a 3/8 seam allowance along the edges that were sewn together, and that'll give it to, or allow it to be the same as the original pattern.
Those are some pretty serious scissors. Where did you get those?
I got these from a buddy of mine that he got in a box from an auction sale, and found out they're made in Russia.
Wow.
So haven't been able to find a pair like this anywhere in Canada or the US, but these are a sure hand saver just with how they're shaped. So all right, we got all our pieces cut out, so we are going to start to sew these together. So these pieces will go along the side like so, and then this will get stitched underneath this area here.
And you're gonna be, when you sew it, you're actually, like, you imagine a glove inside out. That's how it gets sewed.
Yes, yeah. So everything will be flipped like this, and then I'll run a stitch right along here all the way to the end, and then when we flip this over, we'll add a top stitch on top. Alright, I'm just using these little clamps to kind of clamp where my seam's going to be. They just allow the material to stay in place while I'm sewing. Sometimes, even though I have a walking foot machine, if you just tried to put this in without holding it in place, one of the pieces of material might move a little more than the other, and when you get to the end, things aren't going to line up. It won't stretch over properly, and it can just create a lot of problems. So this takes a few moments to do this, and we're good to go. Okay, so we got our initial stitch done. Now next what we're going to do is when we fold this over, I'm going to run a top stitch in about 1/4 inch, and that'll just help reinforce that seam as well as lay it flat. If we didn't do that, then this could fall either way when we go to put it on, and it would just look real messy. So quick stop, top stitch, and that'll be great.
I'm amazed how slow you can go. Like I always pictured like you get one shot and it's one speed.
Yeah, I kind of have this speed reduced, so the fastest I was going there is as fast as this machine will go right there. So
yeah, I just didn't picture that you could stop in the middle, and because you know I don't know a darn thing about sewing, right? So
I'm not a production company, so I'm not flying through this like crazy because there's really no reason to.
yeah, if you were in a sweatshop in Thailand, you'd have been fired already, right?
I would have been fired a long time ago. Alright, we got the seat all stitched together, the piece on the bottom. We ran a top stitch on that too. That'll just allow this edge to sit a little nicer when we put it on the seat. So let's try her out. That looks like she'll fit real nice once it's all pulled tight. So we're going to start putting this in place.
So when I did my last seat video with you, I just kind of played music and time-lapsed it. So this time we should talk about your staple placement, like where you start, where you stretch as you go along.
Alright, so we got the front sitting pretty centered where we want it. So the first place I'm going to run a staple is right at the back in the center. I want to put a little tension on this. We don't want to overstretch it. I just like to make it straight, and when we pull that down, that's going to eliminate any wrinkles. So just enough tension. Now we're going to flip this over.
And you're using an air stapler. Like I know I've tried to use hand staplers in the past, and they just will not go through that plastic.
No.
So if you're going to attempt this, you definitely need a
an air stapler for sure. So our first one, we're going to just put one right there. We'll just check to see how that looks. That's going to be nice when we go to pull this down. You can see how that's going to lay out really nice. All these wrinkles will come out. One other thing, I'm using stainless steel staples. This pretty much is a must. If you use just the regular staples, they are going to rust over time, especially if you're riding your dirt bike in the mud and water.
Oh, so, I didn't realize you were using stainless. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So the next place I like to go is right at this corner. So that's kind of a vital spot. We're going to stretch in there, kind of check both sides, Give a little bit of a pull. Just put a staple in there. Do the same on this side. Pull it in about the same amount. It's hard on the fingers, but it's got to be done. Alright, now we're just going to slowly work our way back on all the sides, keeping it pulled tight, and yeah, we'll have the end results once that's done.
Well, Steve, it looks great. I really appreciate the work you've done here. Tell us about your social media, where somebody can get in touch with you if they want to get some work done.
Okay, so I'm on Facebook, either my personal site, Steve Ottens, or
that's Ottens.
Yes, and on there would be a link to get to my Facebook business site, Old Iron Kustoms, Customs with a K. So look me up there. Lots of pictures to go through. You can see my work on there. And
you'll do smaller jobs like this. You'll do individual seats up to complete interiors.
Yeah, exactly. So simple jobs right to the big, you know, harder, more expensive jobs, obviously. So
yeah, but I don't consider you to be high priced for your skill level. I think most people that deal with you are pretty happy with your prices. And
yeah, I try to stay at a reasonable price and still make a living. So yeah.
Okay, it sounds good. Well, I appreciate it. I'm going to get on the road here, and we'll see you later.
All right. Take care.
Thanks
for stopping by.
If you made it to the end of the video, I very much appreciate it. I'd also like to give a shout out to Steve at Old Iron Kustoms. I'll leave all his social media links in the description below. But if you're in the southern Alberta area and you need some upholstery work done, I would definitely give him the thumbs up. Stay tuned to the channel. We're going to be finishing this bike up in the next episode or two. I've kind of hit a snag with the rear wheel, stuck in shipping. But still lots to do as far as cleaning parts. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything I can do to improve these videos. YouTube is not easy to figure out. Anyway, I'd like to say thanks for tuning in once again. And we'll see you next time.